Registered Retirement Savings Plans, or RRSPs, are one of the ways Canadians can contribute towards their retirement. The deadline for 2023 RRSP contributions is fast approaching, but is this type of investment right for everyone? Everything Financial President Peter Sashecki joins us now with more. Good morning, Peter. A lot of people's favorite time of year is RRSP season.
I knew you were going to say it.
And I did that to bug you because you don't like the term RRSP season.
No such thing.
Yeah, no such. It's made up.
It's made up by the banks. They made it up about 40 years ago.
Well, and here's the thing, is that people feel right now they need to contribute more to their RRSPs or get more RRSPs before the tax deadline. It may not be the right fit for everyone, though.
No, it's not the right fit for everyone. There's a lot of cases where absolutely you should not buy an RRSP or contribute to an RRSP.
Okay, so what are those scenarios?
One of them would be if you're in the lowest tax bracket, which is $45,000 and change. The whole point of an RRSP is tax deferral. Contribute to an RRSP at a high tax bracket, cash it in at a low tax bracket. That's how you really make money, is the tax savings. But if you're in the lowest tax bracket, unfortunately, when you go to cash it in, there's nowhere to go but up. So do not buy an RRSP if you're in the lowest tax bracket.
So is there another option for people who are in that lower tax bracket?
Just put it into a good old-fashioned TFSA, the new RRSP. More flexibility then, too, because what if you need money for debt repayment or an emergency fund or something like that? At least you can pull the money out of the TFSA with no consequences. Gives you more flexibility. And if you do end up needing some RRSPs for tax relief for some other reason, you can always move the money from the TFSA to the RRSP.
Okay, so are there some other scenarios in which someone should not get an RRSP?
Yeah, here's one of the big ones, the misconceptions. Do not buy an RRSP if you're going to drop about 6% or more in your tax savings. And I know that sounds, the eyes roll like, don't I want to save more in tax? No, if you're in a 48% tax bracket and you put lots and lots to your RRSP, you drop to a 42% tax bracket. Okay. And everyone's going to tell you, way to go, look how much money you saved on taxes. That's the sales pitch that's been around for 40 years. You actually just gave the government 6% more of your money. You saved less. If you're in 48%, buy just enough RRSPs to get to the floor of 48%. Now, if you moved 1 or 2%, that's not bad. But when you start moving 6 or 8% lower, you're leaving a lot of money on the table.
So this is where if you are going to contribute to an RRSP or get an RRSP, that you really need to be careful that you don't get too much.
That's right, because people just buy too much for the sake of buying too much. I mean, what if you have really high debt? Like a lot of people do right now. We've talked about it a lot. And you're in a moderate tax bracket, not very high, 32% and down, so not a big amount of savings. You might want to consider passing on the RRSP this year and going and paying off that credit card debt.
Yeah, absolutely. Going for the debt.
Because the rates haven't come down yet. I know they will one day, and pigs may fly, and who knows, but pay down the debt if you're not going to get really much of a tax savings.
And credit card debt is really, that's high interest debt.
They've got to do something about that one day where they put, everyone's got to make money, I get it, but how much money do the credit card companies really need to make?
That's a segment for a whole other day, Peter.
I know, but it's true.
That's so true. Okay, so any other reasons that people should maybe look at other options other than RRSPs?
Yeah, if you have a lot of your retirement savings, like 70%, 65, maybe even up to 75% of your savings for retirement is in pension and RRSP. So things that are going to be taxed when you take them out, then start looking at alternatives, just a non-registered investment or TFSAs, because you're going to need a sum of money at retirement that's not taxable to help out and balance out all that taxable money.
Of course.
So you could get too heavy in RRSPs. And if you're not near your maximum in TFSAs and you're in, again, a modest tax bracket, look at the TFSA to give you some flexibility. It's not meaning don't get an RRSP. It's do more research and buy it for the right reason. You don't buy an RRSP because you go to the teller, because remember, they're not listeners, they're tellers, and they say, buy an RRSP. Why? Well, because you have to, or else you can't retire. They have no clue what you have for retirement.
Right.
I said, do the proper research to make sure it's right for you. And the #1 reason for RRSPs is taxes first. Earning money is always secondary because you don't know what you're going to earn. Tax savings are guaranteed.
Okay, lots to think about. Peter Sashecki with Everything Financial, always knocking it out of the park for us to, answer all of our questions.
A baseball analogy from Keri.
Okay, that's pretty much the only one you're going to get.
Okay.
We were just talking about it, that's why.
I was watching, yes, the new stadium.
Okay, thanks, Peter.
Thanks.